back to For Real. Thank you so much for contributing to our charity work by watching this video. It also really helps if you like, comment and subscribe to the channel. Details of the donations are in the description, as are links to all of the stories mentioned in today's news motto. Today's news motto has a bit of a twist. This week's ride has been provided to us by Reach. Reach is another fantastic Siem Reap-based charity that works with children to help them achieve their full potential. In turn, this creates stronger communities and better futures for everyone. Reach has a Match It campaign going for the rest of June to coincide with the end of the Australian tax year. So anyone who donates in the next 8 days will have their donation doubled. Due to the increase in petrol prices, this week we have gone with the good old Deadly Treadly. That's a bicycle for our non-Australian viewers. Today is Wednesday the 22nd of June, and in today's news we review the changes coming in Thailand on the 1st of July. A gang of Siem Reap youths receive unusual punishment, and a Lotion seller behaves badly. There are yet more drunk drivers in the capital, and calls for tougher penalties are renewed. First up today, and you've probably heard this from other channels that you might watch, big changes are coming in Thailand from the 1st of July. The first change is that there's going to be no more need for the Thailand pass, so that was a bit of a system that was causing a headache for lots of people. And they're scrapping it on the 1st of July, so that's great. No more arrival departure cards, so that little cardboard thing that you have to keep in your passport is no longer required. It would be really good if Cambodia scrapped that too, just saying. Mandatory insurance is no longer required from the 1st of July. Restrictions on nightlife are going to be lifted. The 2 to 5 p.m. alcohol buying ban is going. That one used to drive us crazy because we would always be in the supermarkets thinking about buying a few beers to take home sometime between 2 and 5 p.m. and having to wait was just really annoying. So we're pleased to see the back of that one. Temperature checks will be no more, and no more masks either. But this is a Cambodia channel. Why do we care about what's happening in Thailand? Well, a lot of first-time visitors to Cambodia do come as part of a bigger trip around Southeast Asia, and that usually includes Thailand and Vietnam and other places. Any changes that make things better for travel to Thailand will eventually ultimately benefit Cambodia as well. As for Cambodia, its entry rules have been stable for a while now. Land borders are open, visas are available either in advance or on arrival. There's no quarantine required if you're fully vaccinated. There's no PCR or even rat test on entry. At this stage, Cambodia considers 2 doses of any vaccine to be fully vaccinated. They also accept 1 dose if you've had the Johnson & Johnson. Unvaccinated travellers still need to either book an ASQ hotel or pay a deposit. They must complete 7 days quarantine. Unvaccinated children are deemed to have the same vaccination status as their parents, whatever that might be. Now moving on to some Cambodia national news. A mob of angry citizens has taken the law into their own hands, preventing police from removing a suspect from their neighbourhood in Phnom Penh. According to sources at the scene, police officers swarmed the area in 2 cars to arrest a young man suspected of drug offences. The suspect was placed into a car and local people prevented the car from leaving, saying that the suspect was a man of good character and was not involved in narcotics. Wow, a very strong response from the concerned community. The police, adamant the man was in fact involved with drugs, called for the commune chief and Sensok district inspector to mediate with the villagers. A compromise was eventually reached, where relatives of the man went with him to the police station. This next story is a load of rubbish. Phnom Penh municipal government has warned that people not paying for solid waste management services face being publicly humiliated. The new waste collection fees were introduced in November last year, but many residents and businesses have failed to make their payments. Do you know what the cost of rubbish collection in Phnom Penh is? If you do, drop us a comment below. Publicising names, shutting businesses and taking legal action were some of the measures City Hall proposed after it was revealed that certain people have yet to pay their fees. From public shaming to public shaving. 4 hoodlums are now sporting the latest in fashionable hairstyles, courtesy of the skilled hairstylists of the Siem Reap Provincial Police. Police searched the 4 youths and discovered one of the gangsters was hiding a machete on his person. Is that a machete in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? The police then administered justice in cooperation with village authorities and shaved the youth's hair, as well as educating them and making them sign contracts to cease their antisocial behaviour. It is hoped that their shaven heads will shine like beacons as an example for other impressionable youths in the area. This next gang might be better called a team. A group of Phnom Penh phone thieves who dress like football players, but instead practice the dark arts of phone stealing, have been busted by Phnom Penh police. The 3 thieves were arrested after snatching a phone from a young woman in front of a telegas station in Phnom Penh. Police added that the 3 men were all high on drugs when they were arrested. Police suspect that the gang is involved in a number of other offences and are currently interrogating them. Hopefully those kids can kick the habit and reach their goals. Next up, we have a story that's just plain nuts. The anti-drug force of the Palin City Police Inspectorate received reports from a village chief that a man was actively involved in drug trafficking and was using a cashew plantation to hide his operations. The Palin Sankat Administration police arrived at the scene and apprehended the suspect before he could abscond. Police found the following in his possession: 5 packets of ice, aka meth, weighing 4.16 grams, 1 motorcycle, 2 Vivo phones, one of which was gold and one was navy blue, along with 2 Nokia phones, sets of knives, a sword, and 1 hand axe. They grilled the nut farmer for several hours, but he never cracked. Luckily, no one in the last story was assaulted. But an officer in the next story wasn't so lucky. A police officer was seriously injured when he was shot in his right leg while raiding a hotel room in Sihanoukville. Following a report that a group of 5 Vietnamese nationals had hired a taxi but did not pay for the ride, police went to investigate. When they entered the room, one of the Vietnamese shot the officer in the leg. However, the shooter was quickly disarmed. 3 Vietnamese men and 2 Vietnamese women were arrested and the pistol was seized. Police are now investigating the case as attempted murder and unauthorised possession of a weapon. Now, as YouTube sensations, we know exactly what the next person in the story is talking about. Followers of online perfume celebrity Mac Chantapotum were aghast after the well-known lotion seller was accused of skipping a $40 petrol bill. After her car was refueled, the lotion seller drove away without settling her bill, despite staff attempting to alert her by rapping on the side of the car. Immediately after the incident, the gas station posted a message on its Facebook page asking the woman to come and pay. However, when contacted by local media, the lotion seller claimed that she was busy talking to her children about business on headphones at the time, and therefore was distracted from paying her bill. While acknowledging the mistake, the woman also blamed the gas station staff for not knocking on the door and running after the car. Of course, us famous people are never in the wrong. That's Fame 101. The lotion seller also spoke of her anger with the social media account of the gas station, which had described her as a beautiful woman, because she is actually extremely beautiful due to her lotions. Plus, they should have paid her for the free publicity. #extremely beautiful people. However, she said that even though she was in fact the victim of the incident, she would now pay her debt and not sue the petrol station because apparently she did not want to spend time with useless people. Wow, there's so much spin on that story, I'm dizzy. These drivers must have been dizzy and confused after their experiences. It appears to be open season for drunk drivers in Phnom Penh at the moment, with yet another spate of inebriated idiots causing commotions. Drunk number 1. A drunk driver made an impromptu test of his car's aquatic abilities in Phnom Penh. The incident happened in front of the Papa gas station along the Tul Pongro Canal Road in Phnom Penh. According to startled gas station staff, the man was seen travelling with a woman passenger in a white Ford Rancher. He first stopped at the gas station where staff observed that he appeared to be tired and emotional, but he still managed to pay his bill. Afterwards, he drove away at high speed and suddenly plunged into a nearby canal, immersing his vehicle. Luckily, neither the befuddled driver or his passenger were injured in their plunge and managed to exit the car. Drunk number 2. According to sources at the scene, a grey Toyota Prius was seen travelling on the Cham Chao Boulevard from west to east while turning left. Suddenly, a white Lexus RX 330, driven by a drunk man at high speed, smashed into the innocent Prius, causing severe damage to both vehicles. After the incident, the traffic police at Mien Chey district came down to the scene and asked both parties to coordinate with each other to settle the matter. Maybe it's time to start arresting these people. Drunk number 3. A foreign national suspected of being drunk was involved in an accident in Phnom Penh. The incident happened at 12:20 a.m. on Sihanouk Boulevard. According to sources at the scene, the foreign man was seen driving a black Range Rover erratically and at high speed. Losing control of his vehicle, he smashed into a road divider, breaking a wheel on his luxury car. He then continued to travel for 50 metres before coming to a stop. Onlookers tried to help the man, but he refused to get out of his car and instead engaged in a phone conversation. Finally, we have a good news story. A 300-kilo giant female stingray was released back into the upper Mekong River after a local fisherman caught the animal the previous day and handed his catch over to authorities. I don't know how he managed to hand her over, though. Not only did she weigh 300 kilos, she was 4 metres long and 2.2 metres wide. Authorities have released 3 giant stingrays into the river over the past 2 months, all of which were caught by local fishermen who have followed requests by authorities to protect endangered river animals. That brings us to the end of this week's news. You're now up to date with all of the most important events in the kingdom. Thank you for watching. As always, links to the stories mentioned will be in the description of the video, and we'd like to thank Reach again for providing today's green ride. Take care, have a great week, and we'll see you very soon.